Welcome to the Blogger Genius Podcast, brought to you by Milo Tree. Here's your host, Jillian Leslie.
Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Blogger Genius Podcast. I am your host, Jillian Leslie, and I build online businesses with my husband. Gosh, I've been doing this podcast now for about 3 years, and I absolutely love it. So thank you for spending this little bit of time with me. I've got a very cool episode. I'm interviewing Amy Sadler from Amy Sadler Designs, and she has built a really cool membership on the internet. It's hugely successful. And this is a great way for me to talk about the new thing David and I are building, and it is called Milo Tree Easy Payments. And if you are thinking of starting a subscription or a membership, this is the easiest way to get paid. We give you a money button, and you can install it on your blog, you can share it on social media, and you can use it to get customers to sign up for your program. And then the best part is you can host your membership wherever you want, in a Facebook group, on Zoom, as a paid newsletter, say a paid podcast, on a Discord server, in a private Instagram account, really wherever. I'm looking for beta testers because we've started rolling it out. Very exciting. Please go to milotree.com/beta tester, and I'll email you right away so that we can get on a call and I can hear about the membership you're building and talk about how I can help you get paid. Again, milotree.com/beta tester. For today's episode, I'm interviewing Amy Sadler. She is a true creative, and she has built an enormous membership teaching people how to paint with resin. I really enjoyed hearing her story, how she built her business, how she thinks about serving her members, and especially how she thinks about failing forward. Without further delay, here is my interview with Amy Sadler. Amy, welcome to the show. It's great having you.
Thank you for inviting me, Jillian. I'm very excited to be here, and I appreciate the invitation.
Oh, well, that's great. Okay, Amy, I know you. I know kind of what you do, but I don't know your story and how you ended up being a blogger. Could you share it?
I can, and I would be happy to, actually. I love telling my story in hopes that it would inspire other women who maybe have gone through hard times thinking, oh my gosh, this is the end of the world. I can assure you, whatever you're going through is not the end of the world. I actually started out in banking, and my bank was acquisitioned by another bank, and I could have switched. But my pay would have been less, my benefits would have been less. So I took that time, once I was laid off, to kind of decide, like, okay, I had worked for over 10 years for this bank, and I would have been there forever. I never would have left. It was very comfortable, status quo. When I lost my job, I had to rethink pretty much everything. And so I thought, what would I do if I just wanted to? I have a few weeks of severance pay, and what would I do if I just wanted to? And I love painting. So I live in a small town, but in Kansas City is about 2 hours away. I took a class for paint cabinet finishes, and I came home. I had about 6 samples of different types of paint finishes, and I got a job. Like, I was just showing, I went to this 4th of July party, and I was just showing some of my samples that I love. Like, look at this class I took. I had so much fun. And one of my friends said, hey, if I fly you out to my house in Baltimore, will you paint my kitchen cabinets? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. Well, when I figured up her invoice, it was more than I made in 3 months at the bank.
Wow.
And she was happy to pay it. So, and before that, something like that had never occurred to me, that people would pay for that it would be a lucrative business that I could start. So I was really Yeah, that's how it started.
And how long
I
ago?
called my business.
How long ago
That was in
this?
2013. Yeah. So I named my business. I started a Facebook page. I went and painted her kitchen, posted the pictures, and I was not without a job from that day until the day that I decided it was time to stop painting in other people's houses. So I was never without work.
Wow. Okay. How long did it take you to paint a kitchen? Like, how many projects would you have going?
Well, it took me I did all by myself. Everything from start to finish took me about 3 weeks because I'm tearing down, I'm cleaning, sanding, priming, painting, glazing, top coating, doors in my studio, which I rented a studio, and bases at the house. So then I would put it all back together and then get my aftershot.
Wow. Okay. And then
So,
talk to me about how you said, all right, I don't want to be painting people's kitchens. I want to be what?
well, I actually had a baby. So another part of my story is that I have had, like, you know how you have defining moments in your life? Well, I've had a couple of lives, I like to say, because I had a 23-year-old and I had a 17-year-old when I had my baby, who's three now.
Wow.
So my sons are in their 20s, married and in their jobs, and I have a 3-year-old at home. So I kind of started over a new life, and it was, yeah, it's been super fun. So when I had her, to answer your question, I took a few jobs after, but it's just so hard. And there's so much physical labor, and I work such long hours when I'm doing a kitchen. And I also developed from just painting their cabinets to also realizing that women, especially that were hiring me, struggle with putting colors together and knowing they wanted something special in their home. They wanted it to be different, but they had no idea where to start. So when they called me about painting their cabinets, I would go in and they would say, I don't have a plan. I don't know what to do. I started realizing that I can also help them with that. So it went from just painting cabinets into really interior design. So it evolved on its own just naturally by listening to what my clients were telling me and what their needs were. And I always remember that lesson, like always listen to what your clients are telling you, what your followers are telling you. They can lead you into like the greatest chance of your life. So anyway.
Okay, so you started painting cabinets, became kind of an interior designer, consultant for just
Yes.
kitchens or their whole house or what?
It usually, when they're remodeling their kitchen, it leads into their other living spaces. So what we would do is just make a plan. We would go pick countertops, and then pick flooring and wall color, cabinet color, backsplash, and then they were on their own kind of for furniture. They usually asked me for my opinion, and I would give them color options for furniture based on what they liked. So,
Okay, so you start this whole business and it's just you
mhm,
and you have a baby and you
mhm,
say, okay, this is too much.
mhm.
So what do you think now?
Well, for about a year, I was kind of flailing. Like, if I'm not physically with people in their homes, how can I help? I don't know what to do. Um, so I am friends with a business owner, and I realized that there were people in the world of resin, making resin, which I had also dealt with resin countertops in my business as well. So I kind of knew how that worked a little bit.
Okay, wait, can we stop
Um,
for a second? What is resin and what is a resin countertop? By the way,
okay,
if you can look behind me, we are in the process, you could see some like plastic. We are in the
yeah.
process of redoing our kitchen and we
Oh,
have no like design skills, so we're just kind of
uh-huh.
flailing. but I'm learning about things like resin sinks and stuff. So anyway, so what is resin and how did you get into this and then what'd you do with it?
So resin and epoxy are the same thing. It's some people call it resin and some people call it epoxy. It's a two-part liquid, chemical, for lack of a better word. The two liquids you combine together, and they will cure and become super hard like glass. So that is resin, but within resin, you can add colorants to tint it to any color you want. So it doesn't just have to be clear and going over a painted surface. You can actually add color to the resin. And so there were women that were starting to make tumblers and resin art and geode coasters and things like that. And I was seeing that they were trying to paint the tumbler and then put clear resin over the top. So I found that there was a need for them to understand that you can put color into resin, but they didn't know how to do it. They also didn't realize like colors can be mixed. So I know I'm making a long story longer, but really quickly. So when you go to buy paint or colorants or there are only so many colors, but you might need a vibrant burgundy for a project that you're doing to match something, and you can't buy that. Well, I can teach you how to mix that together to get the custom color that you need for your project. So that's how my group started. I decided like, okay, I'm gonna just put this out into the world and say, hey, I know how to mix these colors and I can teach you. And I thought I might get, like I was hoping for 50. I was like, okay, I think if I really word this right, that I can help 50 women. And so I put it out into the world and I had 500 women sign up for my membership group.
Okay. Whoa, stop. We have to dissect that. First of all, you are teaching people how to mix colors.
Yes.
In resin or any kind of mixing of colors?
So any kind of mixing of colors. I mix pigments with micas, which are metallic powders, to make custom colors. You can put them into paint to make a custom color of paint. You can mix paint colors together, and you can mix, I teach all the things about color mixing and how those colors go together.
Oh
so
my gosh.
We do, yeah.
So how did you, talk about a niche, okay? Yeah, like you're not just a painter, you're a color mixer painter.
Yeah, I know, it's super niche, like it's super weird, and I think that's why it worked.
All right, so where is your community? Who are these people? How did they find you? And how were you able to get 500 of them to sign up for your membership?
So there are just groups on Facebook, and I was
color mixers, for painters?
No, for resin, for like
resin.
tumbler artists and resin, but mostly the tumbler artists joined because they were just really trying to figure out, how do I make my cup stand out? And I said, I can totally help you with that, and it's been awesome.
Okay, wait.
Amazing.
So there are Facebook groups for people, tumblers, like cups, right?
Mm-hmm.
Show me a tumbler.
There's one.
Okay, you're holding up. How would you describe? Like it looks like a I don't know, like
this one is rhinestone.
Okay, and it's
a underneath is a stainless steel double walled tumbler.
Okay.
Keeps your drink cold and hot, kind of like a Yeti.
Okay.
But there is a whole business world of women, mainly women, making these into beautiful things, and so you can
selling them like on Etsy,
and they sell them.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So a tumbler for your drinks,
yes.
And you help them with colors.
Yes.
Okay. So there were yeah.
Well, when they came in as Tumblr artists, I also wanted to show them a world of resin and epoxy and paint finishes and products that they could also add to their businesses to make even more money. So that is something that I incorporated when I realized there was a need for that as well.
So you are helping women who have, say, Etsy shops or who are selling these tumblers for the most part, or could it be like phone cases? Like that's what
yes,
that kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay. So you go into these Facebook groups of people who are selling tumblers, want to personalize them, want to paint them, that kind of thing. And you're saying, hey, I'm Amy and I'm starting a group. Come join my group.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to show you how to do this.
Yes. They had kind of known who I was because of some projects I had done.
Okay. But this is not your own group or your own Facebook page?
No.
Okay.
I've never advertised my group on my Facebook page, not once.
So you put this, you post this, you say, I'm going live, I'm starting a group on this day, join. Like, how did you do this?
Yeah, I was afraid to do it. And I thought, no one's going to do this. And if I have like 10 people join, you know, is that going to be okay with me? I had to go through all of that because I really was not sure. And so I created a little website with a payment plan, a membership option. And I just put that link out there and said, hey, I can help you set your business apart. I can help you set your work apart from others. If you want to learn to make custom colors, join. And that was it. And I did not overthink it. That's the one thing. I put thought into it, but I didn't overthink it. And I just said, okay, if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, you know, and that's part of my story too, Jillian, is I used to be terrified. Like the person I was 10, 15 years ago would not be on your podcast. You wouldn't know who I am. I would be sitting in a corner, you know, just trying to get through life and survive. But today's Amy is not afraid to try and fail. I am not afraid to fail because some of my biggest failures have led me into my biggest successes. And when you have big successes, it's like a stair step. The failure is just tripping up the stairs. You know, I'm going up the stairs. So I just really leaned into, hey, I'm going to try it, you know, and I hope it succeeds. And if it doesn't, you know what, I learned something and I'll move on and do something different.
I love this advice. I love what you just said. I talk about this. If you listen to my podcast, you know this is my thing. It's messy. You want to be trying different things because most of them will fail. But you get information to go, oh, wait a second. That didn't work. But if I tweaked it or I tried it or, whoa, I'm in the wrong direction. Or my people are telling me this. I think they want that, but I'm wrong. And then every so often you get this like nibble. And you go, whoa, this, you know, I talk about it in terms of going up into the hills and mining for gold. And you're looking in the beginning for little gold specks. And when you find some, start digging deeper, start going further. And if there are no gold specks, go in a different direction. Like it is all about learning. And somehow I think, especially as women, we take it so personally. Oh my God, not just I failed, that failed, but I failed. And I think being able to split those two concepts is so important.
Yes, you have got to I'm a super honest, straight up person too, which, you know, I say everything in love and I really feel like that comes across, but I have to tell people sometimes just get over yourself. Like you cannot take that personally. Everybody is different. I try to look at everyone like they're a 9-year-old little, especially women, like they're just 9 years old. You know, how would I treat that if she was standing in front of me and she was 9 years old? You know, how would I treat her? Because guess what? We've all gone through stuff, you know, and we just need to treat everyone with kindness, but your stuff that makes you upset with me is not necessarily me. That boundary of knowing yourself and why. It also helps to know why you're doing what you're doing.
What do you mean?
What is my why? I can't stop, won't stop, because there are women that need my help.
I'm taking this short break to talk about something we've probably all noticed, and that is how much harder it is today to grow social media followers and email subscribers. This is where the MiloTree pop-up app comes into play. You install it on your blog, and it pops up when somebody comes to your site and asks that person to follow you on Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook, or join your list. You get to program it how you like, and it will convert your visitors, those one-off visitors, into followers and subscribers. Best thing about MiloTree, there are two. One, it will not slow down your site one bit. And two, it is so easy to configure and install. You could do it in 2 minutes. Head to milotree.com to learn more and to get your first 30 days free. And now, back to the show. You're empowering women to grow businesses, to sell tumblers.
Yes.
So these women rely on you because you're helping them make money.
Yes.
How many people in your group would you say are hobbyists, and how many are actually selling products?
A lot are hobbyists, but even the hobbyists sell a little bit and give away, and they want their products to be great. So, okay. So I would say, maybe half, maybe I just have, 1/3 that have a business, but I still need to speak into them. And then the ones who are hobbyists and they're saying, I'm just a hobbyist, see and hear the things I'm saying and think, oh, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can add income for my family and help and do something different. It just gives them a little courage too.
Right. And I just want to give a little plug to what we're building, which is MiloTree Easy Payments for people like you, Amy. Like when you were just starting, if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, if Amy could do this, if I could get over myself and I've got something where I want to have members where I can teach something, but I don't even know how to start that. MiloTree Easy Payments is exactly that. You have a sales page on your blog. You got a link. Yeah. People can sign up for your membership and you get revenue, and then you can host this membership or subscription wherever you want. You don't have to use platforms. So let's talk about then. You build this. You say, I'm going to try, maybe get a couple people, and how many people? 500 people show up?
Yeah.
So you say, okay, where am I hosting this? How often am I showing up? How am I teaching my people? What does it look like inside your membership?
I go live every Thursday on Facebook in a private Facebook group, and I'm there answering questions all the time. Whenever they post and have questions or want to share a win or something like that. But every Thursday I go live at 7 Central and I teach some type of, mix or whatever it is. So my platform is a Facebook group.
Literally, you've built this on a Facebook group. And that's, again, for MiloTree Easy Payments, get paid and then go start a private Facebook group. In fact, that's what we recommend, that you don't need some sort of platform that you have to learn, that your customers have to learn. Just make it easy. And people, my hunch is, show up because you're there and you're cheering them on and you're teaching them and they have this relationship with you.
Yes.
And you care about them.
I love my members, and they know. want every one of them to succeed. I'll help them in any way that I can. They know they can come to me and ask questions. I'm going to give them the best. I don't know all the answers, but they know my strengths by now, especially, and can ask me anything, and I'll help in any way that I can. I love them, care about them. I know if they engage with me, and this is something I'll say too, like if you're in a group and you're feeling, like a wallflower and you want someone to notice you, I can't notice you until you engage with me, whether it's even in private messages or, in the comments in the group. If you don't, I love it when my members engage with me. I love knowing their husbands are in the room. We do fun things. I love knowing that they babysit their grandkids on Thursday night and their grandkids are watching me with them. And their grandkids have paint colors that they're mixing at the table with grandma. And like, for me, that's what it's all about. I love knowing someone's starting something new. I love helping them figure out, why are they doing what they're doing? So that lights me up and makes me, just like when I work with my clients and I'm painting their kitchen, I don't just walk in and tell them what I like. I walk into their home because they've called me. I already care about them. I walk in and I get to know them. I try to understand what they're struggling with. And that's where, if it's my strength, I'll come in and I'll help with that.
I love that. We have a membership as well. It's small. It's a bunch of bloggers, online entrepreneurs, and it is so satisfying to me because I know them individually. And I watch their growth and I watch those aha moments. I'm there when they're struggling. And I will say, you want to get on a call because I can tell you're struggling and maybe I can help get you out of that rut, give you some new ideas. There is something, because the internet can be anonymous or it can be weirdly personal. And it is that personal if you are somebody who is a genuine, you care, and you want those relationships, personally, I find it so satisfying to have a membership. Now, here's a question. Can people can they give you ideas like, hey, will you teach X, something you maybe have never thought to teach? And that's where, how do you get your ideas?
Absolutely. I mean, I am a creative person. I'm never out of ideas, literally. Like, I have ideas. Every moment my eyes are open, I have ideas. But I want them to tell me, hey, I have to make an Alabama cup for, a college student. Can you help me make that burgundy? I know I keep picking on burgundy, but it's hard. And yes, on our Thursday live, if one person asks me for a color that they've been struggling with, I'm going to make that color on Thursday. Even if I have something else planned, the first thing we're going to do is that color, and then we'll do what I have planned, because that's what I'm there for, Now,
do you ever get burnt out? Like, you have to show up every Thursday. What happens if you're on vacation? What happens if you had a bad day? I don't know. What do you do?
I'm never not going to show up because I had a bad day, because when I have bad days, I find that my Thursday night lives make it all better. I do get burned out though on are you bored with me? Are my ideas interesting to the members still? How can I always get in that feeling like, am I doing enough? And then I have that issue. If I go on vacation, I just communicate with them and tell them, hey, I'm going to be I was out of town last Thursday. So I told them I went live Thursday at 7, but I just told them, hey, I'm at this conference and I'm going to do tonight's live on Tuesday. So next week we'll have Tuesday and Thursday. So I always make up for it another day. If I'm going to miss it, but burnout is real. Yes. And, sometimes no one has ever made me feel this way, but I feel a lot of weight because I want them to succeed so much. And I feel this weight of, am I doing enough for the wallflowers that aren't engaging with me, for them to see that I care about them too. I want to know what they want to know, but if you don't engage with me, you know, I go through that too.
And how much does it cost to join this group?
It's $27 a month.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And now we talked about this on the phone. You are building something. So you monetize through this group. Are there other ways in which you are monetizing?
Yes. I have, not through this group. So the only money I make from my group is their monthly payments. So I give them coupon codes and things like that, but I don't have, I don't want to bombard them, you know, with links and things like that. I do have discount codes for 2 companies that I do make affiliate money from when they order, but those are more high-end items too that I just wanted to get them a discount for. Does that make sense? So,
yes.
But what I'm doing now is shifting and pivoting a little bit into, so I'm a painter, and then I started teaching what color with resin, and now I'm being drawn back to painting. And in my own, and like I said, I know my story is super weird, but I don't really talk about this stuff on my business social media. This is just in my group. I don't talk about it anywhere else. And I only reopened one other time to a few members since I started it. So it's still kind of our core, you know, our founding members and a few new members. I don't talk about that on my business pages because my business pages are paint related. And I feel like it's a totally different, I don't want to confuse my business followers. So I am getting to a point. So on my Instagram and my Facebook, I do monetize through affiliate links and through affiliate links on my blog. And I've been approached by brands recently for paid partnerships. So that's how I monetize there. And then also I found a need through what I've been doing for more color combinations and color palettes on my business page. Anything, so here, I know I'm being confusing, but anything on my business page spills into my group,
your
but
business
nothing
page,
from my,
meaning your blog, your Facebook page, your Instagram.
yes.
So Pinterest, that is all related to painting. And
Yes.
then you've got this membership sitting off with all these members who, by the way, you've never opened this again. This is just like one-off people can join, but otherwise it's those founding members where you show up every Thursday and teach resin. So
Yes.
in addition to doing that, then you've got a blog and you're blogging.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm a baby blogger.
okay, you're a baby. Yep, I know that because we helped you.
Yes.
You've got a blog, and brands are reaching out to you to work with you as a painter with paints
Yes.
and things like that, and you are using affiliate links to sell paints that are different than this whole resin thing.
Yes. Well, and a lot of my affiliate links too are for like interiors and design and colors. And on my business pages, I do color palettes and I talk about, you know, how to do paint finishes and things like that.
Okay. So now what are you building?
Now I found that there is a need for people like when I started my business and it morphed into the interior design, people struggle with colors, color combinations, what things go together, how to pick a countertop that's going to match your style and your wall color that you want, so
I just have to say,
I
Amy, when we finish this call, can I just show you some of the samples we're thinking about? Because I feel really
absolutely.
insecure about it. Okay, so go on.
Yes, and that's what I'm here for anyone that makes my heart so happy to hear you ask me, because it's a real thing. Like, it's a real struggle that you have that I can help you with. So that's my why.
I
You're my
wish
why.
I wish you could have heard David and me yesterday talking about it, we have these samples of quartz countertop, and they're this big, and we
Yeah.
go, "Oh my God." Like, we literally looked at each other and we're like, "We're not designers." Like, we hold it up and we're like, "Who knows? Could this work?"
Yeah.
We just, so, and it's such a big question and an expensive question. So it's like, we're like, we could totally make the wrong choice here. We have no idea. So anyway, so thank you, Amy. But yes, no, it is a real fear. Like, it is a real
Yes.
anxiety.
Yes. And like you said, it's a big expense to remodel a kitchen. Even if you're not replacing the countertops, it's still it's something that maybe it's a life savings for some, even if it's a couple of $1,000s. So
And it's
that's,
humbling. It's humbling because
yes.
we honestly don't know. We don't know. So
Yeah.
anyways, and so I'm like, oh my God, you would know. And I don't know.
And I have proven ways of making it easier. So that's what I'm gearing towards in my business, is helping women who want to remodel, because it's just time to refresh and upgrade and do some new things without breaking the bank. There's still cost involved anytime you're going to refresh things, but it can be done reasonably, and that's what I want to help people with.
So what does that look like?
It looks like, first off, helping people choose color palettes.
So wait, is this a group? Is this a consulting service? What is this?
This is, well, these are going to be blog posts and posts on my social media that help with some colors, like you might identify with one and see that, oh, I can add this and this and this to it. And then also, a lot of people are DIYing right now because you can't get furniture. You can't, you've got to repurpose the things that you have. People are holding on to their money. They're holding on to their houses. So the best way to DIY furniture is with chalk paint. Well, a chalk type paint. You can't say chalk paint because it's copyrighted. So
Okay.
a chalk type paint. But chalk type paints come in limited colors, so you may not find the color that you need. So what I've done is I've always made my own. I have a formula, and I'm going to bottle my powder formula, and I'm going to put it in a subscription box, and I'm going to put color palettes inside that subscription box for each month. Multiple color palettes. So if you want to DIY some furniture and paint some things around your house or your front door or whatever it would be, I will give you my formula of powder that you can mix in any color of paint from any place, any store, any brand that you want, and make your own chalk paint that sticks to anything. And it will, it'll make the choices so much easier.
Now, are you literally like bottling this yourself, or do you have just like a company that is helping you? How are you starting this?
Right now, I'm bottling it myself, and then as I grow, I will expand and have that produced for me somewhere else. But right now, I'm doing it in my she shed.
I love this.
So,
okay,
yeah.
So now you've got this whole other business that you're launching. When are you launching it? What is your plan for launching it?
So my plan for launch is I'm going to start talking about it on my business pages and in the blog in August, mid-August. and I will open up sales in September, and then hopefully the first boxes will go out in October.
Wow. Amy, that is
Yeah.
so impressive. Okay. And are you going to promote this to your current group?
Yeah, I've asked them. Of course, they're my guinea pigs. I always ask them first, like, hey, would you guys be interested in this? If they weren't interested, I wouldn't do it. But when I talk to them about painting and paint finishes and how to accomplish a DIY paint project, I got a resounding yes, please help us. So that's that's how this started. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Amy, I'd love you to, once you've launched this, would you come on for a part 2 to talk about it and how it went and
Oh,
what
absolutely.
you've learned?
Because yeah, I'm learning a lot, and I'm sure I'll learn a lot more. And you know what? It's one of those things. Let me just say this right now. Like, I think it's going to succeed wildly, but if it doesn't, like, that's okay. It's something I have to try. I have to get this out of me and into the world, and then see what happens. I think it's going to be wildly successful, and I have every hope. But if it's not, I am not going to crawl in a hole and hide and die. I am going to do the next thing that I feel like would help people. So.
Wow. Now, are you at all, like, just hearing you, and I don't know what I think about this, but I feel like you've got these separate businesses, and like, is there a way that kind of like 1 + 1, these two businesses equals 3, like somehow promoting the painting stuff with the resin stuff, because they seem very separate right now, but they're so related.
Yeah, I am going to also, with the subscription box, you can just get the subscription box and get the products that I put in there, which will be extremely helpful in a DIY project and with choosing the colors. However, if you would like to join my group and let me teach you paint finishes and colors, then you can also separately join the group. So you can just get the box, you can just join the group, or you can do both.
But here's the thing, if one is like painting furniture, let's say, and one is resin stuff, will you be including furniture painting in this resin group?
Yeah, we already do furniture painting in the group and talk about paint finishes and things like that. So,
okay, so
yes,
it's already so they're already kind of coming together.
They're coming together. Over the last few months, I've started. There was a desire for them to learn painting and how to use that, and so I started. And then I thought, okay, let's see, what are the things I've always done that are hard for other people that I can help with, and this just came alive. So
okay, first of all, are you going to be opening your resin group anytime in the near future?
If someone is listening to this podcast and they would like to join, they can just send me a DM or an email at asadlercreative@gmail.com, and I will give them the link to join if they would like to join. And also in the future, by the time this podcast airs, they can, I will have a link for the group to join. Yeah.
If people want to reach out to you, let's say they just have a question about, hey, how'd you start this group? Or, hey, I want to be painting. Or like, what is the best way for people to reach out to you, to follow you, see what you're up to?
You can follow me at Amy Sadler Designs on Instagram. And my blog is the same name, amysadlerdesigns.com. You can reach out to me. My email is asadlercreative@gmail.com. And just send me a message, follow me. I will be talking about it on my social media, and I'll gladly email you a link if you'd like to join or know more about, what's going on.
I find you to be so inspiring, and I think it is your fearlessness, which is really admirable. I will say, I was emailing with somebody yesterday who was wanting to start a blog, reached out to me, had been sitting on this idea for so long, and said, I'm paralyzed by perfection. And what I said to her, I was giving her action steps like, hey, sign up for our Blog Start program to get your blog set up. And then she's like, should I sign up for your WordPress course? And I said, wait, let us get your blog set up. And in the meantime, please do some stream of consciousness writing on perfection and how it's holding you back and why it, what does it mean to you? Where did it come from in your own life? How does it weirdly keep you safe? Because then you don't have to do stuff if you're paralyzed by perfection. What your life would look like if you weren't ruled by this perfection, and what does it mean to go be embarrassed? Put something out there that's not perfect. Like how would that be? I said, then once you've done that, we've got your blog set up, go, get my WordPress course. But until you've really examined perfection, I think that's a step that we all need to think about in our own lives. And this is why I teach this concept of B- work. B-, it's above average, but it's not perfect. And remember, perfection is not profitable. So I feel that in everything you're doing.
Well, and I have a couple of things to add to that. Perfection keeps you from helping people. And the goal is helping people. My goal every day is to help someone. I wake up and I say, Lord, send me someone to help today. Whether it's getting something off of a high shelf at Walmart, or whether it is, someone on the side of the road, or whether it's my neighbor who just, needs someone to talk to. Just send me someone to help. When you look at life that way, perfection does not have any part of that equation. There's no such thing as perfection. It's really just, I feel like perfection is just a person keeping themselves from greatness.
And from a business perspective, perfection is not profitable. So keep that in mind as well. And if Amy, I just want to say to everybody, if Amy is inspiring to you and you're ready to set up a membership, please reach out to me at Jillian@milotree.com, because I want to help you with our new payment platform. Get paid and start something. Just go do it. And if you fail, well, we've talked about it. It's okay. You're going to survive and you're going to learn. And so get that business going. If you have an audience of people with a need and you can serve them, what is better? What's better?
Yeah. And you say you feel like I'm fearless, and that kind of intimidates me a little bit, because I am not fearless. I'm not without fear. I just have courage, and courage is getting through fear and getting, I do everything I do afraid. I was afraid to open a group and it went well. I've been afraid to do the things I failed at and they failed. And that is okay. Like I said, I am falling up the stairs. I'm tripping up. I'm only going up, because I cannot let myself get lost in fear. I have fear, but I'm not lost in it. I'm overcoming it. I'm courageous, and you have to be. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I am courageous. I'm brave. I get through those hard things. You know what? I've been through hard things in my life I had no control over, I recently beat cancer. So I had part of my kidney removed. I had no choice in that, but I could not be afraid and just stop. I had to keep going and I had to recover. And now I even have more of a drive to help more women, because it really showed me that, I don't have forever. And I have a skill and I can help people, with the struggle of, just putting colors together and making your home your own. And if I can help someone, it may seem small to some people, but I know what it's like to live in a house that doesn't feel right. And I don't want other women to go through that. When your home when you feel at home in your house, you can get more things done. You can relax a little bit. You can entertain people. It just makes you feel like you can conquer the world a little bit more I don't know. I know that's silly, but
I am just so, it's funny inviting you on the podcast, and I wanted to talk about your membership and paint colors because I didn't quite understand exactly what you did. And I feel like the conversation has just gotten so deep and meaningful. And it, like seriously, you've just made my day. So Amy, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. And I want to do a part 2 with you after you have launched your paint business, just to see how it's going.
okay. And you know what? I promise you, whether it's wildly successful or whether I fail a little bit up the stairs, I'll still come back for a part 2 and talk about it.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I have enjoyed it.
I hope you found this episode inspiring, and you could tell by the end of it that I did too. I really respond to the way that Amy thinks about her members, the way she thinks about trying new things, and the way she perseveres even when fearful. So I challenge you, if you have something to inspire others with, to start a membership like Amy has, and to use our simple way to get paid called MiloTree Easy Payments. If this is something you are thinking about, I want to push you to do it. You could do it with MiloTree Easy Payments and a private Facebook group. So head to milotree.com/beta tester and we can talk about your business. I am now all about finding new ways for entrepreneurs to make money. And if they could do it by serving others, I can't think of a better way. Again, milotree.com/beta tester. I just want to hear what you're building, and I really want to help. And then I will see you here again next week.